Wow. I mean, to any white person who's listening to this show who thinks that they have it rough, just remember that this sort of thing rarely happens to white people. Rarely happens to white people.
I think rarely is even being generous.
I know, but because I'm sure that there has been, but we don't have to deal with this sort of thing. Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Every fucking look at it, there's nothing you can say. Nothing you can say. This is what the fucking Republican Party has become. Like, listen to me. I'm not a fan of Republicans, Austin. Never have been. Never voted for a single fucking Republican in my life, and I never fucking will. But at least at one time, Republicans had some sort of respect where this sort of thing wouldn't happen. The fact that
no, I beg to differ. They had the intelligence to not make it so obvious.
That was the difference. No, I'm not going to even go that far because I know that there's not, just because Republican does not make you a racist, or didn't. It didn't.
I don't know. Listen to Lee Atwater's speech about the Southern strategy behind closed doors to only Republicans.
Yeah, but I'm not going to link every single Republican to one person. I'm not going to link every Democrat to one person.
He was just the head of, 3 Republican campaigns?
I
from
understand.
1972 to 1989.
I completely understand. But again, there's not every Republican is like that. It's just
they're not so overt. That's true.
That's just the truth, and not every Republican's racist.
Well, I think
you can't say that. Also,
I think that it creates an interesting debate because what do you define as racist? Because we know by the data that Republican policies, whether they're intended to be racist or not,
as a whole, I'm not disagreeing. I'm speaking
just saying,
about individuals.
If you support a racist policy,
right,
even if you don't personally believe that other races are inferior,
but my point
does that
is,
still make you a racist? I think that's an interesting conversation. There
has been Republicans that have fought against that. There always have been, and there always will be. Even if there's just one, I'm not the type of person where I'm going to put every single person in a category just because of their political party.
They're obviously not all racist, but I'm just saying that if you're somebody, but there's people who claim they're not. But if you support, states' rights and trickle-down economics, I'm sorry, but the data says you're racist.
I agree, but there's also Democrats who claim that they care about people, and then care.
I'm not saying the Democrats are spared either,
but the fact that this is just the norm, and a thing like this can just go through the news and out the news, and that's it, is disgusting.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a story about a month ago. About how the president he and his family committed major tax fraud. And that kind of went in and out of the news.
Yeah.
It's like
it's wild.
Like it took the New York Times, a year and a half to write that story, to do all the research, and the people are like, we know he's bad.
It's also crazy to me that these people actually claim, Republicans in general claim to be Christians. They claim to be religious. As religious Christians, you're supposed to have this higher standing. You're supposed to have this moral side to you that us liberal atheists don't have. And then this happens.
Yeah.
The same, because the worst part about it is the people who made this call are going to vote Republican.
Oh yeah.
And this doesn't bother anybody. Yeah, you might not like his policies, but to make a recording and send it to people in Florida and have
when you're in Idaho,
yeah, and to have, oh my God, it's just so upsetting.
Yeah,
it's
I
so
agree.
upsetting.
I agree.
I've never cared about somebody's race or their sexual orientation. If I don't like your policies, I don't like your policies. That's it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But not everyone sees it that way, I guess.
Obviously.
Oh my gosh, so fucking disgusting. Here are some more headlines that we did not get a chance to cover, and because there's a lot of shit going on.
Yes,
Stacey Abrams could forge a path as a new path for Democrats in the Old South if she wins the race for governor in Georgia. 6 children are dead, 12 ill in a virus outbreak in New Jersey. That's just probably their water. Ted Cruz renewed SleazyDonald.us and DaffyDonald.us this year. In the same breath, he was also endorsed by Donald Trump recently.
Beautiful Ted.
Trump embraces, quote, nationalist title at Texas rally. Also,
is there a problem with that word?
Yeah, quite a bit. Beto O'Rourke says...
I'm white and I'm a nationalist. I happen to be a white nationalist. What's the problem?
Beto O'Rourke said he still supports impeaching Trump, a Russian national charged with attempting to interfere in the 2018 midterms. Wow, that's great. Transgender could be defined out of existence under the Trump administration, and Republicans will repeal Obamacare if they get the chance, says Mitch McConnell. Just another week in American politics. Let's take a break.
Can't wait to talk about not America.
And when we come back, we'll talk about more politics, but not of the American kind.
That's good.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Joining us for his monthly segment is the man from across the sea, from the country that unsuccessfully tried to conquer us 3 times.
Unfortunately, they didn't. Yeah,
I know. I regret every moment of it. Even though I didn't have anything to do with it, but
I'm not
his name is Steven. What? I was not around that. That's Steven's age, not
no.
me. Joining us is the Revolutionary War hero, Steven!
Hello, boys! Yeah.
Hi, Steven.
Yes, I remember it well. It was a good couple of years, and when we realised we didn't want you anymore, we just kind of gave up, didn't we?
Oh, wow. That is... What English propaganda that is.
That's also what Tom's parents told him on his 18th birthday.
18th?
All right, I was being generous.
It was like 3. Let's be real here. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Steven. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm doing quite well, yes. Been very busy recently. Was in Vienna last week, which was quite nice.
Did you get any sausages?
As a vegetarian, I managed to avoid all of that. Or did you mean
did you get vegetarian sausage?
No, I gave that one a miss as well because I'm not fully conversant in German, and I probably wouldn't trust them. An Austrian comes to me telling me something now. There's bad history there, isn't there? So
yeah, it's true. They come running at you with the angry voice, and you think all of a sudden, oh God, this is the Fourth Reich, so I'm in trouble here.
That's exactly what it was like. So I mean, I was looked after very well by a host over there because I was over there for work.
Good, very nice.
But yes, I did manage to be part of a demonstration about the government briefly for about 5 minutes. That's completely by accident walked around a corner into a demonstration, and hey, doesn't take much for me to join a demo. So as soon as I managed to actually get somebody who spoke English to tell me whether it was for or against the government, and then I could decide whether I was staying. But unfortunately, it was against them. So it was useful. Okay. So because they have this thing in Germany and over here in England and stuff where you have mass protests against right-wing extremists.
Wow.
Do you know anything about that?
No, I've never heard that before in my entire life, actually. Here we embrace them and make them presidents.
Well, this is it, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But let's be fair, so did Germany and Austria at one point.
But the current Austrian government has right-wings.
Yeah.
So...
I guess.
Yeah, the current, Germany has kept away their right wing from government at the moment, but Austria has right wing in their government, and just like the Italians.
Yes, yeah.
So doing very well, those Italians, aren't they? They love a bit of fascism.
No, they love it. They embrace that for some odd reason. What tea are you drinking today, Mr. Steven?
Well, it's actually one I picked up in Germany. It's a green tea. Obviously, it's almond and honey, which I've been serving really until tonight to sample live with yourselves.
Awesome! Yeah, that sounds really good. Actually,
that does sound good.
Interested in what that is.
What are you drinking?
And Austin, what are you drinking?
Okay, so I picked up something just to disprove all those people who say I don't like ciders. I picked up a Doc's Draft pumpkin hard apple cider.
Wait, hold on. It still has to have fucking pumpkin in it, though.
Hey, it's October, okay?
I know. But okay. Okay, who's this from?
Oh, it is, let's see, Doc's Draft. They make ciders, but this is the only one that has pumpkin.
Interesting. Now, ciders are traditionally pretty low on ABV, or mild, I would say. What's your ABV on that one?
I believe this is 5.3.
Okay, it's not too bad.
It's not that bad.
Not too bad. Good. Very good. I'm not drinking anything. How about that? So
kick him off the show.
Game on.
Have you not been paid?
You're fired. You're fired. You have to be drunk to do the show. You're fired. So if you want, Austin, you can do the symbolic cheers to start this off.
Oh, shit. I don't have 2 glasses.
And we are in
Ready
trouble. Steven.
Wait.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Good enough. Okay, Austin, how's your cider?
Surprisingly good.
Oh, wait, surprisingly?
Yeah.
Why do you say surprisingly?
Well,
you really don't like ciders?
Well, because those people weren't wrong. I'm not really that into ciders. But but this is, well, the thing, usually the reservation I have is they're usually too sweet. But this one's actually not.
Sure.
And it's really nice. So. And it has all the pumpkin-y spices, cinnamon, nutmeg. And it's all good.
Awesome.
It's all good, man.
And how did you finish the season, by the way?
No, so don't say anything.
I won't, but the ending was fantastic.
Right.
Steven, what does your drink taste like? What does your tea taste like?
It's good. It's surprisingly subtle. I'm used to stronger flavours on things that sometimes spoil the taste, but this is good. I'm enjoying this. Yeah.
So in a tea, do you prefer less taste? Or do you want it to, like, it's an almond and honey drink? You want it to taste exactly like almond and honey.
You want to make sure that it doesn't have a strong aftertaste. That's the problem with it, because that lingers, it tends to then spoil and get worse as a flavour the longer it sort of rolls around in your mouth, as it were. Having a strong initial taste but a pleasant aftertaste is what's preferable.
Good to know. All right. And now, without further ado, let's begin this month's edition of the Not America Report.
Look, I know a lot of people give Americans a bum rap for being stupid and knowing nothing about the world, but the reality couldn't be further from the truth, as I discovered on the streets here, asking US locals about the very world their country runs. Name a country that begins with U.
Utopia.
What's the religion of Israel?
Catholic, probably.
What religion are Buddhist monks?
Buddhist monk, Islamic, I don't know.
What is the currency used in the United Kingdom?
Queen Elizabeth money. That's all I know.
All right, Steven. I'm sure nothing has happened because we haven't been informed of any global events, so that most likely means nothing has actually happened. So,
globe. What is this globe you speak of? I'm pretty sure the Earth is flat.
Well, it's like it's like a globalist, but we're nationalists here. In America.
That's a good question. Do flat earthers believe in globalists?
Ooh, no, they're flatterists. They're flatterists. No, they're just really stupid people. That's all they actually are. They're really, really stupid people.
The Earth cannot be flat, really, because if it was, then cats would have pushed everything off the edge by now.
So true. They're such assholes. They have to hit everything.
Push everything off a shelf or a table or anything.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
So prove me wrong. Did nothing happen in the world? Am I right?
Yeah, it's been fairly quiet. Yeah, we've mostly spent our time sitting around laughing at Trump.
Well, us too.
Yeah. No. Well, actually, there's a couple of things that happened.
Okay, give me one. I don't believe you yet.
Right. Well, I'll give you a couple of updates on things that happened previously. Maybe that's an easy way to go.
Okay. Okay, we can start with that. Yeah.
Yeah. In Australia, I told you before about that the government had changed as far as the leadership, the Prime Minister. that the coalition had a one-seat majority, and the previous Prime Minister had decided